So basically I just want to explain how that transformation happened and just all of the trials and tribulations throughout the years that led to that. I wrote down so much, so I basically want to explain why I started working out, how I started working out, and then give you guys some tips if you want to start off. So I guess where you could say my fitness journey started is that I've been playing soccer since I was like 5. I played soccer my whole life. I never really enjoyed it. I was like decent at it, but I just played on the club team. I hated going to practice. It was only twice a week, so it was just 2 practices and a game. I was always like the slowest on the team. I was just like the chubby one, the least athletic. I honestly just hated any type of activity. I was so lazy. I played soccer until senior year of high school. And throughout high school, my weight would fluctuate a lot. Basically, between seasons, I would just gain a lot more weight and lose a lot more weight when I was active. Because between seasons, trust me, I was not doing shit. Like, I did not get out of my bed. So where my fitness journey really started, I remember this because my boyfriend at the time broke up with me in February of my senior year of high school. And I remember I just gained so much weight from that relationship. I was at my heaviest. I was just so depressed, and I was basically like, let me get this revenge body, let me, snap back. I just like had an epiphany, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to college, I want to be my best self, so you know what, revenge body, here I come. So basically I just started working out in my basement, no equipment. I had 2 8-pound weights, and I'll put the workout that I did at that time on the screen because it honestly did help me a lot, but it's just so different from what I do now, so it's kind of crazy looking back. I did a lot of cardio. I was on the treadmill all the time. I didn't have a gym membership. My main goal then was to lose weight, just get really skinny. I was so scared of carbs. I was just not eating enough probably. Honestly, I didn't really like working out. It was more just in my head. I was like, oh, I need to get the body I want. I need to get the body I want, which looking back isn't really the right mindset to have. So I got to college freshman year, and I continued going to the gym and just going on the treadmill. It was very sporadically. I wasn't like dedicated to going every day. I would go a few times a week, just hop on the treadmill, do some light weights like lunges and stuff, and some abs. When I say I dreaded going, because first off, I was always working out at home, so I was not used to working out in the gym, and I was kind of forced to go to the gym because I obviously couldn't work out in my little dorm. When I say I had the worst anxiety about going to the gym, I did not want to be anywhere near the gym. I thought everyone was going to look at me. I thought I had no idea what I was doing. I'm telling you, like, this is going to be a theme throughout the video because I feel like my anxiety really played a big role in my fitness journey. But when I say, like, oh my god, I did not want to be seen at the gym. I did not want anyone looking at me. I didn't want anyone near me. The whole environment of the gym, it just gave me so much anxiety. Freshman year was definitely doing the freshman year things. I was getting lit with my friends, eating at the dining hall. Diet definitely could have been better. So I feel like my main priority during that time was just, I'm having fun. And I really remember this day. I don't know why, but basically I was just on the treadmill in my college gym, and I was like, I hate this. I would go on the treadmill and the elliptical. Oh my god. Yeah, I was just like, I hate this. Why am I doing this? And I was looking at the leg press, and I was like, you know what? I was always too scared to do any types of weights. Also, side note, when I was lifting those little ass weights in my basement during high school, I thought if I lifted anything above that, I thought I was going to get big. I thought I was going to look like a man, which is so dumb looking back, but I feel like a lot of people think that. So yeah, back to the story. I was just looking at the leg press, and I was like, why don't I just start like lifting weights? It sounds so dumb, but I was like, why don't I just start lifting weights? So I went to the leg press, and I just started doing it, and I was like, this is kind of fun. This is so dumb, but I was like, this is kind of fun. Why don't I really get into this? So I remember I went home that day, I sat in my dorm, and I started just doing a bunch of research on weight training and girls trying to build their butts. I knew I wanted to get my butt bigger. I was never flat except when I got really skinny. Then I would gain a bunch of weight and my butt was like kind of big, but my waist was big. So when I was doing my research, I found, shout out to these girls because they seriously changed I feel like they really changed my life. They inspired my journey so much. So the first one is Taylor Kate, and I just really resonated with her because I felt like we had a similar body. So all of her workouts were just so helpful to me. I binged a bunch of her videos. Another one is Belle, I don't know how to say it. I think it's Belle Say Boba. And then Katia Elise Henry. She also inspired me so much. So I saw these girls. I was like, you know what? I want to be strong. I want to build my glutes. Let me get on this. So I basically jumped in full force. I was like, okay, so the goal is to progressively overload. Progressively overloading is really the key to growing your glutes. It's basically just building up weight gradually, and once you master one weight, go on to the next weight, and that's what tears your muscles and leads to growth. So I was going to my school gym, and around this time when I really threw myself in, I got a medical diagnosis. It wasn't a bad diagnosis. It just kind of came as a shock to me, and I was like, I need to really get my shit together. I need to be the healthiest version of me. And it also gave me a bunch of anxiety, and the one thing that gave me a relief from that anxiety was the gym. It's really crazy looking back because the gym was such a source of anxiety for me. I hated going, like I said. It just gave me anxiety to think about it. So obviously freshman year, it's so hard. I was super stressed. On top of that, a bunch of stuff was happening. Just a bunch of shit happened to me freshman year. One of the best years of my life, but also one of the worst years of my life. So the gym was what really got me through that. I really just forced myself. My main motivation was that, you know, that adrenaline rush that I got from the gym was so helpful for my anxiety. So in my mind, I was like, I can't stop going to the gym because my anxiety is going to get worse. So I was obsessed. I'm telling you, I was literally obsessed. I started seeing results, and results are addictive once you start seeing them. So I was like fully in at this point. Something just went off in my brain. And one thing that I feel like was pivotal in my journey was that I wasn't depriving myself of having fun and doing things I liked while getting fit. I would literally go to the gym 9 to 10 and then I would get back, shower, and start pre-gaming. A lot of people are like, cut out alcohol, and trust me, it helps because I haven't drank in a long time. But if you want to get fit, just go to the gym and continue doing everything you like. The results will still come. Probably not the best advice because a lot of people will tell you otherwise, but as long as you're dedicated, you're going to get results either way. It might be slower, it might be faster. So looking back throughout those years, I definitely had such bad body image issues. I don't know why I said it like that. Such bad body image. Especially since at the time, I didn't really notice how much my weight would fluctuate. But when I look back at pictures, 1 month I would be like stick thin, no butt. And then like 3 months later, I would gain a bunch of weight. So obviously that inconsistency just messed with my head so much. I just wasn't really that happy in my body. And this is another thing that is so important, is that you are your worst critic. Seriously, people could look at me and be like, oh, she has the body I want. And I'll still look in the mirror and be like, oh, I can change this, I can change this. You are your own worst critic, for real, for real. With all that being said, it really is not easy to motivate yourself at all. It's one of the hardest things to do, honestly. But once you start, you just need to force yourself for 30 days, and then that will become a habit. It takes 30 days to create a habit. So if you really push yourself for 30 days, it will become a part of your routine, and it will feel even weirder to not go than it will to go. So one thing that I tell myself to really motivate myself is a lot of people start, not a lot of people finish. How many times do you guys know someone who started going to the gym for a few weeks and they were like, no, that's enough. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And like I said before about my freshman year, how I was still partaking in activities that I enjoyed, you don't have to just cut out every single thing you don't like. It's everything in moderation. You know, if you want to go out with your friends a few times a week, do it. If you want to have McDonald's, you know, a cheat day, do it. The main thing that helped me was just switching my entire mindset. Because when I was talking about myself in high school and I started working out in my basement, my main goal was, I want a skinny waist. I want to look like this girl. No. Cut that whole thought process out. That is not going to help you in the long run. What you need to think is, I want to be the healthiest and happiest version of myself. The physical results are just a bonus. And another thing that I've learned throughout my years of working out is that balance is the key. So when I first started, I would feel so guilty if I missed one day. And in the beginning, you might need that discipline to really form that habit. There are times you're going to have to push yourself, but if you miss one day, it's not the end of the world. If you really think about it, nothing's going to change. Your body's not going to change. You're not going to get fat that one day. Because that's really how I thought. But I have to constantly remind myself, it's just not realistic. You know, one day is not going to change anything. So going off of that, I'm going to give you guys some tips. The first thing I will say is be forgiving with yourself. Just be nice to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Going back to you're your own worst critic. Next, obviously, do research. You don't want to hurt yourself lifting weights. You just want to know what you're doing and have a game plan before you hop in, especially if you're anxious about going to the gym, which is my next point. There's really no way to just alleviate gym anxiety. The only way you can really do it is just throw yourself in head first, blast your music, and realize this is going to be so hard to get into some of your heads. Because I'm just thinking about the way I used to think, and I would not have believed this. But when I say no one is looking at you, no one cares what you're doing. Everyone is doing their own thing. Seriously, promise, no one cares. Especially if you just put yourself in your own zone, blast your music as loud as you can, and just get to work. And again, with my whole shifting perspectives thing, if you look at it like I'm working out to help my anxiety instead of, oh my god, I have to go to the gym, it gives me anxiety. That will honestly make you feel so much better because in the long run, it will help your anxiety. I swear, coming from someone who has the worst anxiety, and I'm not just saying that, the gym, it has been the main thing that has alleviated that, which is insane. I never thought I would say that. And another thing is that you really need to understand genetics are a huge part of how your body is going to transform. You can't take a picture of a girl and say, I'm going to work out, I'm going to look like her. By all means, use that person for motivation. Use the fact that they go to the gym so much to motivate you. If you go into it thinking, I'm going to look like that person, you're going to end up disappointed. That's just how it is. An example I have is my waist. I'll put a picture, but my waist from the front is just not like hourglass at all. I worked on it as much as I could to, make it flat from the side, and I'm happy with how it looks now, and I've accepted it. From the front, I'm pretty square, and I see all these girls on Instagram, they have these tiny waists in the front. I used to be like, I need that, I want that, and then I just realized, unless I get surgery, that's not changing. Comparison is your worst enemy, so that's another thing you need to really change your mindset, shift your perspective. It's not, I'm gonna go to the gym to look like this girl, it's, I'm going to be the best version of myself, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to be strong. And another thing is, don't compare yourself to these Instagram girls. You can get a nice ass body, you can get a nice defined waist, you can get the butt you want. It's not going to be like Kylie Jenner proportions, that's really just impossible. And another tip I have is, don't get so caught up with the numbers. Macros are important, but they're really not everything. If I'm being honest, I've never tracked my macros, I just eat. That's something that you really just need to evaluate if it works for you, because some people it's great for, other people it's not. I remember when I was like in my phase where I was trying to get super skinny, I was just on my fitness pound, I was just tracking every single calorie, and if I went over, I would be disappointed in myself. It really just made me obsessive about what I was eating. The way I look at it is, if you're eating whole, healthy, slow burning carbs and enough protein, the quality of food is way more important than the quantity. Obviously, it really depends on what your goals are. If you're overweight and you're trying to lose weight, this might not really apply to you. This is something that society has ingrained in us so much. It's actually crazy, is that carbs are the enemy. Carbs are not the enemy. You just have to make sure that what you're eating are slow burning carbs, which basically means that they release energy throughout the time and not all at once and then cause you to crash after. So I'm talking about rice, sweet potatoes, quinoa, whole wheat pasta. Things aren't bad for you, and they're actually vital if you're trying to build your butt. I feel like my fitness journey really is calculated way less by how I look, how big my butt is, how small my waist is. That stuff does not matter as much as just how much I've improved as a person and my mindset. The main focus of this video is just try to be the best and healthiest version of yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. Don't do it to look like someone else, and the results will come. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope my story at least inspired one person. We're in this together. I have videos of what I eat, and I have workouts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions about anything I said, feel free to comment them. I'm here to help anyone who needs help or support. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!